This just happened. I passed this truck at a stop sign. They were focused on this truck. This just happened. Jesus, I ask that you work through them and heal them and work through the people who are going to respond. It looks like the guy is okay sitting on the side. But these people, the individuals, the pedos, Chad Tompkins pedos, harassed me right before that happened. Extra harassment, focusing on other people around me, hate injected towards other drivers, and then that happened. So that's what they do all day. They are so hateful, focusing on others with hate, stealing family and friends' voices and injecting faces, defamation of character all day, AI abuse, and then they have a disguise on the faces that they inject, so I cannot know whose faces they're injecting to cover up their crimes. And I think they have an AI protection through Simpatico. Judd Porter has a company with Greg Bazar, Colorado Fun Valley. Greg Bazar is over Simpatico, and it's based out of Lubbock, Texas. And they do have an AI protection program with Department of Defense customers. So I just pray that the Department of Defense leaders, Jesus works through those leaders to weed out these individuals who are not targeting terrorists, pedophiles, and destroying them. No, they are targeting children and veterans, and that was forced speech because they shot 2 veterans, killed 1. I was going to say law enforcement, and they've been doing that for a long time, Danny Porter. And then elderly. I saw that firsthand when I lived on a property with a man who was an elderly individual. He was one of the most active individuals I've seen in my life. He was a former priest. He was a very kind man. They gave him a stroke, and he went from doing so many things over on the farm for speech, over on the farm, to having a stroke and having to be in the hospital and then in rehab, and slowed him down a lot. And then he was inside the majority of the time. And so we went to church together, and they would get around his face and spew on our way to church and on our way back. And they would do this weird clicking around his face in his home when I would visit him and when we were driving. And I noticed that after they gave him a stroke, his side of his face drooped more. You could tell. And he was still so smart. But right before the Coventry school shooting that these individuals were involved in, we were coming back from church, and all of a sudden they started doing forced speech to him about drag queens, and he was talking about drag queens all of a sudden. And then the next day was the Coventry school shooting, and the individual that did the school shooting was a transgender individual. I have worked with a transgender individual, and the person was peaceful. So it's a heart condition for sure, and I don't want transgender enforced upon my child or any other child. I believe that we were created either a man or a woman, but I'm going to show people love because God is love, and that's what we're called to do as Christians, love our neighbors as ourselves. And I'm not going to love a school shooter, no. So I'm supposed to hate what God hates. That's in the Bible. So anyway, I hope all of y'all have a good day. These engineers do engineer engineered wrecks. They abuse engineered technology. I post wrecks on my page that correlates with their algorithms, and I ask for you to pray for the individuals' families involved, the individuals if they are harmed and not dead, and the people who are helping the individuals, law enforcement, firemen, and paramedics, EMTs, nurses, doctors, everybody involved. So anyway, just I ask you to pray that these individuals are destroyed. What I'm praying for is that the authorities go to their house and give them a lethal injection at their home or their place of business where they're working. Because they're going to be hazards to anybody in their surroundings. These individuals need to be destroyed just as quickly. They are that bad. They are the worst of the worst out there. They have been the worst for a very long time. They repeat their history. That's all they do, is go back in the past and keep doing what they did in the 70s. And you can watch the FBI files and crimes that they're involved in, bombings, killing of law enforcement, murders of children. These individuals are involved in murdering of FBI agents. So yeah, been doing this for a very long time. Hope y'all have a blessed day. Remember, Jesus loves you, and to love your neighbors yourself. And this isn't a party issue. This is a heart condition.